Welcome to Dolphin Dive Daily, your go-to spot for everything Miami Dolphins. If you bleed aqua and orange, hit that subscribe button and join the pod. As the Miami Dolphins continue to deal with an array of challenges, one of their star players could soon find himself on the move, sending shockwaves through the NFL landscape. The Dolphins' recent struggles have been well documented. From quarterback Tua Tagovailoa's injury-plagued season, where concussion concerns forced him to miss significant time, to the drama surrounding star wide receiver Tyreek Hill's trade request. It's been a turbulent year in Miami. Despite the off-field distractions, Dolphins general manager Chris Grier made it clear that they would not be granting Hill's trade request, at least for the time being. However, it was a different story when it came to cornerback Jalen Ramsey, who has been one of the team's standout performers. Despite never expressing any desire to leave, Grier subtly suggested that it might be in the best interest of both Ramsey and the Dolphins to part ways. This revelation caught many off guard, considering that just before the 2024 season kicked off, Ramsey had signed a massive 3-year extension with Miami, making him the second highest paid cornerback in the league at the time. His $72 million deal seemed like a clear indication that the Dolphins were committed to Ramsey as a central part of their defense. So why then is the franchise now open to trading him? The answer to that question remains shrouded in mystery, but it's certainly fueling speculation across the NFL, especially in Los Angeles. For the Chargers, a team desperate to improve their secondary, this unexpected opportunity could be the perfect solution. While the Chargers' defense has shown flashes of brilliance in recent seasons, the need for an elite cornerback to pair alongside rising star Tarheeb Still has never been more apparent. Despite Still's remarkable performance as a rookie, Asante Samuel Jr. is unlikely to return, leaving a significant gap in the defense that needs to be filled with someone of Ramsey's caliber. What makes this scenario even more intriguing is the structure of Ramsey's contract. Though the Chargers have been reluctant to make major financial commitments this offseason, Ramsey's deal is crafted in such a way that they would have no trouble absorbing the cap hit. If the Chargers were to decide after the season that Ramsey is no longer a fit, his dead cap number would drop significantly, making the move even more appealing. By next season, that number would fall to just $18 million, and by 2027, it would be a mere $10 million, a manageable sum for a team looking to bolster its defense. While the prospect of trading a player of Ramsey's stature is certainly a bold move, there's also the reality that the Dolphins may be looking to shake things up. A trade involving a third-round pick, as proposed by Bleacher Report's Mo Moton, could be a tempting offer for Miami, especially given the ongoing tension in the franchise. The Chargers, though hesitant to part with draft picks in the past, might find this particular trade too good to pass up, especially when considering the long-term benefits of adding a player of Ramsey's talent to their roster. One of the key factors to keep in mind is the Chargers' shift in focus under the leadership of head coach Jim Harbaugh. Since his arrival, Harbaugh has emphasized the importance of building a strong defensive identity, a philosophy that has already begun to take shape with the Chargers' impressive defensive performances last season. Adding a player like Ramsey would take this defense to another level, making it one of the most formidable units in the league. For the Dolphins, parting ways with Ramsey could signal a new direction for the team as they look to rebuild and restructure their roster in the wake of a disappointing season. For the Chargers, however, this trade could be the key to unlocking their full potential on defense, positioning them as a true contender in the AFC. As the NFL draft approaches, all eyes will be on the Dolphins on whether they will ultimately decide to pull the trigger on this trade. For now, the intrigue surrounding Jalen Ramsey's future is only growing, and the possibility of him joining the Chargers is one that could change the course of both teams' seasons. Still with us? Then show some love. Hit that like button and let us know in the comments. What's your take on the Fins this week? What if one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, a 4-time MVP with over 500 career touchdown passes, suddenly landed in Miami? Imagine the South Beach sun shining off Aaron Rodgers' helmet as he jogs out of the tunnel at Hard Rock Stadium, ready to lead the Dolphins into a new era. It's a scenario that just months ago seemed like fantasy. But now, following the New York Jets' formal announcement to part ways with Rodgers, the Dolphins have emerged as an unexpected and tantalizing landing spot. The NFL world is buzzing, and Miami might just be on the verge of pulling off one of the most shocking quarterback acquisitions in league history. For the Dolphins, the potential arrival of Rodgers isn't just a headline, it's a franchise-altering possibility. After a promising but inconsistent run with Tua Tagovailoa, Miami's brass may see Rodgers as the missing piece to take their offense from explosive to elite. The Dolphins already boast a track team at wide receiver, led by Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and a creative offensive mind in head coach Mike McDaniel. Pair that with Rodgers' precision, deep ball accuracy, and pre-snap mastery, and you have a recipe that could terrify opposing defenses across the AFC. According to league insiders, Miami has quietly inquired about Rodgers' availability, and the interest is said to be mutual. Rodgers' 2024 season with the Jets was a roller coaster, a blend of resilience, vintage brilliance, and physical struggle. After returning from a torn Achilles suffered just 4 snaps into the 2023 season, he battled through additional injuries and a revolving door of chaos in New York. Despite the dysfunction, Rodgers showed flashes of his old self, throwing for nearly 4,000 yards and 28 touchdowns. But with the Jets entering yet another rebuild and tension reportedly mounting between Rodgers and the front office, the writing was on the wall. The decision to move on from the veteran passer opened the door for a late career twist that no one could have predicted. A final chapter in Miami. The move would carry echoes of other legendary quarterback migrations. Much like Tom Brady's departure from New England to Tampa Bay, or even Brett Favre's controversial exit from Green Bay, a path Rodgers himself already mirrored, this would be a Hall of Famer taking his talents to a new coast, a new fan base, and perhaps a final shot at immortality. There's also the allure of legacy. If Rodgers could bring a Super Bowl to a Dolphins franchise that hasn't hoisted the Lombardi since the days of Don Shula and Dan Marino, he'd instantly etch his name in Miami lore. For a man who has always cared deeply about his place in the game's history, this opportunity may be too poetic to pass up. There's a reason why Mike McDaniel, one of the NFL's most forward-thinking coaches, has reportedly handpicked Aaron Rodgers as the man to lead his offense. Beyond the accolades and statistics, Rodgers brings a level of command, experience, and cerebral mastery that few quarterbacks in league history have ever possessed. His ability to read defenses pre-snap, manipulate coverage with his eyes, and deliver throws into tight windows makes him a rare commodity, even at 41. For McDaniel, whose offensive system thrives on timing, misdirection, and precision, Rodgers is not just a fit, he's a force multiplier. What sets Rodgers apart isn't just his arm strength or mobility, though both remain potent. It's his poise under pressure, his surgical ball placement, and an unshakable confidence that uplifts every huddle he steps into. During his time in Green Bay, he consistently turned average receiving corps into elite units. And during his shortened stint in New York, he still managed to create scoring opportunities despite a crumbling supporting cast. With the likes of Hill, Waddle, and a strong run game at his disposal in Miami, Rodgers could orchestrate one of the most dynamic offenses the franchise has ever seen. Another quality that McDaniel reportedly admires is Rodgers' leadership, a trait often misunderstood but deeply appreciated by those within his locker room. He challenges teammates to elevate their game, demands excellence, and leads with a mix of intensity and calm that steadies a team even in chaos. For a Dolphins squad that has flirted with contention but failed to take that final leap, Rodgers could be the steadying hand they've long been missing. He's battle-tested, playoff-hardened, and hungry, the perfect quarterback to rally a talented team toward its ultimate goal. In selecting Rodgers, McDaniel isn't just betting on experience, he's betting on greatness. He's choosing a quarterback who has defied odds, bounced back from career-threatening injuries, and still holds the fire to chase another ring. The message is clear. The Dolphins aren't content with just making the playoffs. They want to win it all. And if Aaron Rodgers does make Miami his new home, it won't just be another chapter in a legendary career. It could be the final Masterpiece. Crafted under the sun, with McDaniel as the architect and Rodgers as the artist. Nothing is official yet. But with the Jets aiming to shed Rodgers' contract post-June 1st, and the Dolphins possibly seeking one last push to dethrone the Chiefs in the AFC, all signs point to something brewing beneath the Florida palms. NFL insiders are watching closely. Fans are already speculating on jersey sales and playoff runs. And Aaron Rodgers, enigmatic and electric as ever, may be about to write the most dramatic chapter of his career in the city where the sun never sets on football ambition. Stay tuned. The league may soon belong to the Dolphins. That's a wrap for today's dive. If you're loving the content, share it with a fellow Dolphins fan, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a splash. Fins up.